Former presidents have broad immunity from prosecution when it comes to official actions taken while in office. That's the decision by the U.S. Supreme Court today in former President Donald Trump's immunity case. In a landmark judgment today, the Supreme Court ruled that presidents of the U.S. do have immunity under the law if they're acting in their official capacity under the Constitution. Thanks for joining us tonight at 10. I'm Evan Forrester.
And I'm Amy Lutz. The decision comes as former President Donald Trump faces criminal charges for allegedly inciting the January 6th riot in an attempt to disrupt the transfer of power in 2021. Fox 43's James Corrigan is here now with what a local law professor says will be the implications of the decision.
Well, Amy, the implications will go far beyond any one president. The question of whether the president of the United States is above the law just got a lot more complicated. Justices today ruled that a president is above the law when it comes to official acts. They are not when it comes to unofficial acts. But now the question is, where will the courts draw the line?
The basic point is this action taken as part of being president?
Widener Commonwealth Law professor Michael DiMino says the Supreme Court established 3 categories of presidential actions in Chief Justice John Roberts' decision today in Trump v. United States. Official acts include pardon power, making appointments, and commanding the armed forces. These, according to the court, have full immunity unless the government can, quote, show that applying a criminal prohibition to that act would pose no dangers of intrusion on the authority and functions of the executive branch.
If the action is taken by the president because the person is president, as a way, directly or indirectly, of carrying out presidential responsibilities, then it will be considered an official act.
Unofficial acts outside the job of president have no immunity. But the third category is the so-called discretionary responsibilities. Those responsibilities are not included in the Constitution, such as making speeches. DiMino says the court was vague on this standard, and there will be much more litigating on whether these responsibilities will be fully immune.
If a prosecution would be such as to undermine the functioning of the executive branch, well, then immunity would have to apply.
Justice Sonia Sotomayor, in her dissent, panned the decision, saying that it would open up the possibility of a president accepting bribes or ordering the military to assassinate a political rival. As it pertains to former President Trump's current indictments surrounding his role in the January 6th attacks, DiMino says the allegations in the charges surrounding his conversations with then Vice President Mike Pence and state officials could still be considered unofficial acts.
The vice president here is acting in his capacity as president of the Senate rather than as any kind of executive branch advisor to the president.
Now, the Supreme Court has sent Trump's case back to the trial court to see whether any of the allegations fall under the new official act standard. This is expected to delay the trial, but the implications of today's decisions will extend well beyond any case and will likely reshape the presidency for the years to come.
So, James, what's the new timeline looking like when it comes to President Trump's case?
Well, the best case scenario for the prosecution is to begin the trial in October. That seemed to be the original plan. However, it most likely won't start or potentially won't even end until after the November election. This does now raise the scenario of a sitting president, if Trump were to win, being either on trial or convicted while in office. And if that were to happen, well, there'd be many more legal questions to come.
It certainly would be. All right, James Corrigan live tonight. Thank you so much.